finally finished my Frank Miller Daredevil run, and I'm going to show it off here right after this. What's up? What's up, everyone? T-RAVIS here, and like I said, on this episode, we are going to go through some of my. I'm going to show off my Frank Miller Daredevil run. This is his first run. This does not include the second run he did where he came back where he only wrote the story with Nuke and all of them in there. I like those stories, but and I do have some of them. I will eventually put that set together, but this is the first run and some related books and tie-ins. I have been working on this set for a while. This is probably like the third time I put this set together. Well, you know what? This is the first time I have actually completely finished this set. There was always one book I never had in the collection, which I have now. So let's just get started. I'm just going to show these off, talk a little bit about it. I really like the Frank Miller run. Love how the Netflix series was close to this Frank Miller's run, season 3. But the Punisher, I like the way Frank Miller does the Punisher. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling. I'm just going to start showing books. So let's just start off here with Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man number 27. And this right here is the first time Frank Miller did art on Daredevil, drew Daredevil. And it was published, so there it is. And this book, it's probably about a 7.5. And the reason I need to upgrade it, but this is a Mark Jewelers insert, so I'm going to hold on to that. And I also have a look, there's another copy of it, better shape. Now, if you'll notice down here in the corner in the UPC box, it doesn't have a UPC, which it should have for this era. Should have a barcode. This has a Todd McFarlane Spider-Man in there. So what this is, in the 90s, let's see that down there. In the 90s, J.C. Penney's did a bunch of reprints of a bunch of Marvel comics, and you could get online or order from the catalog. I believe it was sets of books from them, and they reprinted all kinds. They reprinted Silver Age stuff, Major Keys, and all kinds of, and then some oddball stuff. You would think, why would they reprint that? But this is one of them, and I thought it's a little odd, and I like the odd stuff in my collection. So I do have a right here, a Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man 28. I believe that Frank Miller, this is also a Mark Jewelers insert. I'm pretty sure. Oh man, this book here is just sweet. The pages, yeah, this is the second Frank Miller Daredevil. I was just making sure he was in there before I started saying something that wasn't true, and then someone will correct me in the comments. But this is the second Frank Miller on Daredevil, and look at there, Mark Jewelers insert. This is this book here. Actually, I always like this cover. I need to get this pressed and cleaned and graded. It's worth that. It's in much nicer shape than the 27. All right. So let's just start with the regular run. Daredevil 158. First, Frank Miller on Daredevil in title with a Night Stalker on the cover. I always loved this cover, like the full moon, him jumping out at him in the cemetery. So there's your first Frank Miller on title. Here's a 159. Frank Miller was only doing the art at this time. He had not taken over the writing duties in this book as of at that point. So there's 159. There's a 160. Classic bullseye cover. She's in a hairdryer to choke Black Widow. Can we put that on a cover today? You could in 1979. Another Daredevil 161 with another bullseye cover. All right. You're going to see a cut in this video because I misplaced the book and I was freaking out because I'm like, I know I have this book. Anyway, so we go from Daredevil 161 to Daredevil 163. You notice there's no 162. I didn't include that in this collection because 162 was a filler issue. It was a fill-in. Steve Ditko, which I like Steve Ditko. You know, his Spider-Man work, his Doctor Strange work, and his Charlton work he did. It's just not Daredevil. And it's not Frank Miller, so I didn't include it in the run. So we go from 161 to 163. It's where he battles a Hulk. This is a 6.0. This definitely needs an upgrade. But this book here is a little pricey. It's a great issue, great story, and it holds a little value to it. And I love this story. It's a great story. So there's 163. Then we're going to go to 164. Right there, another good cover. Another great issue, 165. Good cover. Daredevil's fighting Dr. Octopus. Love this cover where he showed him jumping around different, fighting him. 166. The Gladiator. They brought him back. There's Gladiator. One of my least favorite covers of the run. So this is Daredevil 167. Don't care much for that cover. And yes, the one issue that I missed from the other collections, this is Daredevil 168, the first appearance of Elektra, and I finally obtained this book. And this book, I paid up for this book, and this book, as is right now, will probably grade out at a 9.4, 9.6. With a good pressing to the right presser, it may even obtain a 9.8. But so proud to actually have this book in my collection. So, like I said, I have different stuff that's linked to the run. So here's another Daredevil 168. So what is this book? Well, on the back, it's got the original cover. And on the front, it has Greg Horn's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the cover from the recalled issue of the Greg Horn Elektra run. Has like a panel in there of her naked, and it got through and they recalled it or whatever. But I believe that's the cover for it. So this book, when they released the Elektra movie on DVD, if you were there on the night of the release, you got a copy of this book. It was given out. It's from Fox. And it's an exact reprint inside of 168. And I'm glad they put the original cover on the back, but the front cover is awesome. So it took me a bit to find that book, but I did find it. There's a 169. Another bullseye cover. This is a second appearance of Elektra. And this one here is a 9.2. Yeah, I'm probably happy with that. That's a good solid collectible grade for the PC. Here's a 170. And if I'm not mistaken, I know this has Kingpin on the cover. I don't think they actually meet in this story. Event, it's like Kingpin has a grip on the city and he's got a grip on Daredevil here. I think it's setting up the story. I could be wrong. I don't remember. It's been a while since I read it. But 171, I believe this is the actual first meeting of Kingpin and Daredevil, where they actually meet face to face for the first time. And if you'll notice, this right here says at last monthly. So up until this point, from 158 to 171, this was a bi-monthly book. The first appearance of Elektra, all that stuff was all bi-monthly. And, this is a great storyline. And having to wait 2 months to read the next issue, I think thank God it was such a good run that people held on for it. And then we're going to go to this is one of my favorite covers too. 172, Kingpin in the background, Bullseye jumping in, Daredevil fighting thugs on the cover. A 173. $174 with Daredevil, Elektra, and the Gladiator working side by side. $175. This is a 9.4. I think it's as good as I'm going to get. I'm happy with that, so we'll stick with that. But another great issue. So 176, Daredevil 176. So this is the first appearance of Stick. That was their mentor or his mentor. Taught him all the skills he needed. What a concept that Frank Miller came up with this guy to train him, to explain how he is the way he is, and introduce the hand and all that stuff. So I thought that was awesome. So there's 176. Here's another 176 right here, and this one looks a little different. Of course, it says like Elektra on top, but it says Daredevil 176 in the corner. So this is the Marvel Legends reprint. This issue came with a action figure, and its first appearance of Stick, so had to have that. 177. Don't care much for that cover. 178. Love this cover. Daredevil, I think Power Man and Iron Fist, that's their silhouettes are in this issue. 179. Love this cover. 179. 180. And the classic 181, The Death of Elektra. Right there. And that was supposed to have been it. Elektra was supposed to stay dead. Frank Miller created her, ran her, and ran the stories, and that was supposed to have been it. 182. Hugging a grave of Elektra there. 183, part of the classic Punisher tie-in there. got 2 copies of this. Let's see. This was the nicer one. 184, classic cover, Dirty Harry ripoff. If you ask me, this always reminds me of a Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry's movie. There's a movie poster of him holding the gun. It always reminds me of that. Great cover. Oh, wait a minute. I got 3 copies of that. I don't know. I keep finding them. Here's a 185. That's I believe that one's a newsstand. Got it in direct. 186. Same thing. Newsstand and direct. Okay, so this issue here drives me nuts, and I will continue to hunt this book until I can find one. So this is a 187, solid white cover. This book is impossible to find, and just without being dirty. I mean, there's the newsstand. There's the direct copy of it. This is a nicer one. But the thing with this book is it has this black line that's printed right down the side. So like this direct edition is fine. This cover's dirty. It needs to be cleaned. It needs to be, I don't know, bleached or something. But this one, you can see the line. The line is supposed to be printed right down the center of the spine. And if the printer got it wrong, this book, it's not rolled. It was just put together that way, but that drives me nuts. That is my Achilles heel of this collection, this white cover. Just finding it. This book would have had to have been bagged and boarded and stored away somewhere where nothing could get to it for it to be perfect. Here's a 188 with Black Widow coming back to help him. $189. And you'll notice that if you read this series, if you notice as it goes on, Frank Miller, I think he did less and less art, and Jansen did more and more art as they went on. Like he was getting tired of the series. You know, he'd been on it for 30-something issues, and he was getting wore out on it. But I mean, this right here looks like a Jansen cover. I don't even see the FM written anywhere in here, so I don't know. Could be. Who knows? And, of course, the last issue that Frank Miller, I believe, didn't want to do is 190, and when they resurrected Elektra. He was told he has to bring that character back. I'm glad he did. You know, I like that character. And look at the Daredevil run now. I mean, what would that run be right now without Elektra in it? So that's it. 158 through 190 minus the one issue 162, which is a totally Steve Ditko thing and doesn't fit in. There's some tie-in books that I want to show. And let's see. This is What If 28 right here. This is a great story. It's what if Daredevil became an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Frank Miller did it. He wrote the story and drew it. And there is another what if with Daredevil and Elektra standing on the cover. I do not have that. But I do have some of these homage covers. Here's a Mighty Avengers number 16. And that's like a Daredevil 168 homage. And here's a What If Daredevil versus Elektra number 1, and it's got Elektra and Daredevil spot, and I guess that's supposed to be Daredevil leaping over at her, but thought I'd add that. Since Bullseye was a big part of it, and this is not Frank Miller, but I'll throw this in. I get this friend of mine found this online auction, and the auction house is just like 30 minutes from us, and we were able to get this book. So there's a glare, Daredevil 131, first appearance of Bullseye. So glad to have this in the PC. And like I said, I do have some of the other, here's Daredevil 230, where Sister Mary reveals that she's Matt's mother, and 232, first appearance of Nuke, and 241 is totally early Todd McFarlane art. It's got a Mike Zeck cover. A lot of people don't know about this, but the art inside is pretty good, and the inside, it's early McFarlane. So, you know, kind of like before he did the Hulk run, I think. It's 87. It's close. But that's it. That's it. I don't want to make this video any longer. I just wanted to share that. It took me a while to put that together. And like I said, it's not done. Going to upgrade some of these copies. And 187, I will find one. I will find one somewhere that's nice. But hey, thanks for watching. Like, comment, shared, all that good stuff. And remember, hey, collect what you like.